astronauts come here to train because it looks like we're here on the surface of Mars.
We've officially left Mars and now we are on the moon.
The river doesn't look super high right now, so we're going to cross it. Here we are at the Hunt cabin. They built this cabin out in the middle of nowhere. All right, well, we lost my drone. We looked on the GPS and it might not be possible to salvage, but we're gonna try.
Mom, who's editing this later, at least I filmed it. If we fall, we'll be able to see how it happened.
Hey fellow adventurers, we're Eric and Jamie from Explore Adventure, and we're excited you're here with us. Right now, we're deep in the heart of Utah's San Rafael Reef Wilderness, hanging out with our son Evan, his awesome wife Danielle, and their furry sidekick Paco, Yuki's brother.
A lot of people ask us if we eat this way every day. Thanks to Jamie, we do eat great food, but when we're overlanding, we do like to eat a good hearty breakfast out on the trail. Eating well helps us to avoid constant snacking in the car all day. Egg burritos are a great way to get some dense calories that will stick with you. Good burrito.
That hits the spot. But not for you.
After a great start to the morning, it's time to hit the trail. We're looking forward to a beautiful day, but little did we know what lay ahead for us on this trip. As Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. On this adventure, we've got a few punches headed our way. We're currently traversing the San Rafael Reef, a 75-mile geological upheaval formed millions of years ago when tectonic plates collided. This remarkable feature is part of the iconic San Rafael Swell, a desert landscape covering 1,800 square miles full of multicolored sandstone formations, domes, fins, hoodoos, cliffs, and slot canyons. We're absolutely enchanted with this area and love to explore its iconic beauty.
Someone collected all of these little pieces, bits and pieces of items that were inside the house. This is ceramic, something, a jar of some kind. It's all broken up now.
I may have just lost my drone. I may have just lost my drone. All right, well, we lost my drone, sadly. Trying to fly it over Temple Mountain, and it lost signal, and usually it returns to home, but because we're in a canyon, I don't think it picked up the home point. So we looked on the GPS, and we don't know exactly where it's at, but I think we need to go up that way, and it might not be possible to salvage, but we're gonna try. You gotta look, when you lose a $3,000 drone, you have to put in some due diligence, so let's hope we can get it.
This is an old mining road that we're hiking on, and it's all washed out. There's a big rock fall back there, so yeah, nobody can get a vehicle up here anymore, but
So it looks like a road there, and then I don't know if that's a road though. Well, I need to go with you. I'm the one that has the map, so hold on a second. The mountain we're climbing is called Temple Mountain because the outline resembles the Salt Lake Temple in Salt Lake City. Towering 1,200 feet above its surrounding terrain, it is the highest point along the San Rafael Reef.
Here's an old mine. There's our cars way down there. Shows we gotta get up there. Mom, who's editing this later, at least I filmed it, so if we fall, we'll be able to see how it happened.
Really crumbly rock.
Huh, that's not good.
Little did we know, but this decision to go after the drone would end up being a colossal error in judgment and would have negative repercussions down the road, ultimately ending in our trip being cut short.
Should just really go right up. We about made it.
This place has a wild history. Mining started here in the late 1800s, but it wasn't until the early 1900s that they started pulling out radium, vanadium, and uranium. Believe it or not, this area supplied the stuff for Madame Curie's groundbreaking radioactive research, and she even came to the States to visit Temple Mountain.
It looks like there's people been up here too.
Later, this became a uranium hotspot in the 40s and 50s during the Cold War, and over 500,000 tons of yellowcake uranium was pulled out of these mines.
Last ascent, hopefully. GPS shows it should be somewhere up there. So we'll find out.
Yeah, we're climbing this sucker, aren't we, Evan? It's pretty steep. We're making our way. Let's hope we can get the drone that is not on some cliff or precipice. Oh man. And then cut over. It's in the white section over here, but I think that's a little rough. Let's go this way.
All right.
I think the drone is sitting on top of one of those white things, I believe, at least from my Google Maps GPS tracker. We're right here, and it looks like it's on top of this peak right there.
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
We've been going for 55 minutes since we left the car.
I don't think. I mean,
Oh.
so we were looking at the wrong, on the map, I thought this little red pin was the drone. It was trying to point out the drone. That's Temple Mountain. We've been climbing that. We've been heading up toward that peak. And so, yeah, that was really bad. Bad mistake. So instead, we need to go down here, and there's a little dot, and luckily it's right near a road. So we just need to find out where that's at. It might just be sitting in the middle of the road somewhere. Let's go find it. Well, here we are after almost hiking up to the top of Temple Mountain, walking back along some old mining roads to get back to the vehicles where our wives are probably worried about us. I was able to download with cell signal on top of the mountain, GPS coordinates of the drone. I hope it's real. I hope we get there and we find it. It looks like it's right off the side of a road. It's almost too good to be true.
sad day. We could not find the drone after looking and looking. We spent a good part of our day looking and couldn't find it. Still beautiful country, and we'll still make the best of this adventure even though we lost our drone.
Took off in the canyon, and so it didn't set a home point, and it would have flown back to a home point because it didn't have one. It probably just hovered in the air until the battery died and then crashed, or it landed, but it landed on top of the mountain somewhere.
Give a moment of silence for poor old drone. Rest in peace, or rest in pieces. Who knows?
The hike was hot, expended a lot of energy, and our bodies weren't yet acclimatized to the desert heat. Unfortunately, this would play a role in something serious later on, ending our trip prematurely. Stay tuned to find out what happens.
We're going to try to salvage this day by heading into Hanksville and eating one of our favorite burger joints in Hanksville called Stan's. So there's something about a good burger and comfort food that can take a bad situation and make it feel better.
Let's hope so. It's a beautiful burger. Sadly, many trails in the San Rafael Swell are under threat of closure due to the government's Bureau of Land Management proposal, which could eliminate over 900 miles of trails to public access. If you'd like to support efforts to keep this area open to responsible outdoor recreation, please follow the link posted in the comments below.
Welcome to the Red Planet. Okay, so we're not actually on Mars, but this alien landscape outside of Hanksville, Utah is so otherworldly, you'll think you're on the Red Planet or the Moon. We didn't see any little green men, but we did run across something you don't see every day, the Mars Desert Research Station.
We're here at the Mars Desert Research Station outside of Hanksville, Utah. You can see why this is one of 4 habitats that they selected worldwide, because it looks like we're here on the surface of Mars. What this is for is astronauts come here to train, and they stay in that, they call it the habitat or the HAB. They have to live there for a certain time period and wear their spacesuits whenever they step outside the habitat. Here's the trail trivia. How long do the astronauts or researchers spend in the habitat at one time? Is it A, 5 days, B, 2 weeks, C, 1 month, or D, 1 year?
We've officially left Mars and now we are on the moon.
There's these crystals all over the ground. At first I thought it was broken glass, but I pulled over and grabbed a little piece of it. Look at that. Some kind of mica. Since we lost our drone on this trip, we couldn't fly, but fortunately we have some footage from a previous trip to this area, so sit back and enjoy the stunning alien landscape from Moonscape Overlook.
After a somewhat disappointing day and a complete change of plans, we finally made it to our camp tonight, and it's a good one. Tonight we're doing simple snacks, hors d'oeuvres, cowboy caviar, veggies, cheese. Just kind of light after our heavy lunch.
some garbage and throw it out.
Nothing beats a classic pancake breakfast.
Yeah. Today's journey is going to take us into the remote backcountry of Capitol Reef National Park, into a place called Cathedral Valley. This 58-mile driving loop takes about 6 to 8 hours to complete, and you need a high clearance 4x4. Always check with the visitor center after a rainstorm, as the road can be completely impassable or washed out. Okay, we're at the Cathedral Valley River Ford across the Fremont River. The river doesn't look super high right now. It's before the spring runoff, so we're going to cross it. Used to be an old water well, I guess. That's a pretty serious pump machine.
This thing is seriously buried in the mud. Look at that. Look how deep it went all the way up to the bottom of the vehicle.
These are the Bentonite Hills, and were formed during the Jurassic period when mud, silt, fine sand, and volcanic ash were deposited in swamps and lakes. Bentonite clay, or volcanic ash, absorbs water and becomes very slick and gummy when wet, making vehicle or foot travel difficult or impossible. Definitely incredible.
Wow. Incredible.
This is the Cathedral Valley overlook right here. Off in the distance there is the Temple of the Sun, Temple of the Moon, which we're gonna see up close and personal here in the next hour as we drive down there. It's absolutely beautiful and breathtaking.
Yuki, what's over here? What are you scared of? Scary feather. Scary feather.
On Capitol Reef's website, you'll find the following warning. Foot and vehicle travel in the Cathedral Valley area is light, so be prepared for the unexpected. If you have problems, help may not arrive for hours or even days, depending on the time of the year. Carry plenty of food, water, gas, adequate clothing, a shovel, and emergency supplies. No potable water is available in Cathedral Valley, although there is one primitive campground that has a pit toilet. Cell phone reception is usually poor to non-existent. So in other words, be prepared for any eventuality when you enter this rugged country.
We're here at Cathedral Valley in Capitol Reef National Park at the Gypsum Sinkhole. So we have some trail trivia for you. How do scientists say the gypsum sinkhole formed? Is it A, erosion of soil from water flowing underground? B, early settlers removing too much groundwater? C, water dissolved the gypsum underground and created a void? Or D, they have some theories but they don't know for sure?
Upper and Lower Cathedral Valley offer exquisite views of sculpted monoliths with intriguing names such as the Walls of Jericho and the Temples of the Sun, Moon, and Stars. The monoliths are composed of the earthy, buff pink Entrada sandstone deposited 160 million years ago during the Jurassic period. All right, we're here at Glass Mountain next to Temple of the Sun. Here's your trail trivia. What's this thing made out of? Is it A, selenite or gypsum, B, rhyolite, C, granite, or D, obsidian? That's steep. Nice, good job. The Hunt Ranch, also known as the Hondo Ranch or Muddy Creek Ranch, is a remote outpost nestled in a starkly beautiful landscape. It's probably the most remote ghost ranch we've ever visited. Its isolation provides a glimpse into the harsh realities of early life in the region. The ranch itself is a testament to the resilience of its original owner, Charlie Hunt, who built a life there from scratch. The ranch was started in 1918 by Charlie Hunt, who used a newly constructed road to a nearby coal mine at Factory Butte to get close to the ranch. Charlie extended the road to Muddy Creek and to where the ranch now sits. Charlie tended to the ranch for 12 years, building the two-story house that remains, as well as other structures including a cabin and chicken coop. He raised cows, chickens, sheep, and grew hay and corn. They used to get up. Jamie.
It's like a little loft.
Basically, they climbed the ladder straight up and down.
Got a corral or something over here. Space for lots of animals. There's a lot of fence over there. Kept some kind of animals in here. Horses, probably. This looks big enough it could have had horses. Come driver, driver, driver. You lined up good, stay driver. Yep, stay driver. There you go, yeah, you got it. You got it, nice. Good, you lined up good. Come driver, a little bit. There you go, yep. Come driver a little bit more. Crank it, driver. Got it.
Let's see if this masterpiece is ready to eat. Looks good. Smoky enchiladas. It's got a real smoky flavor. The smoker does a good job of cooking enchiladas, I'd say. Remember how we said looking for the drone would set off some events that would force us to leave early? Well, our son Evan got dehydrated and drank too much water without enough electrolytes. This caused hyponatremia, which is when your blood sodium level is too low. Sodium helps regulate water in your body, and without enough, cells can swell, leading to serious problems. It's dangerous, and people even die from it every year in places like the Grand Canyon. When Evan started throwing up that night, we knew something was wrong, so we pulled up stakes in the middle of the night to drive home. Thankfully, after some time in the ER and replenishment of important electrolytes, Evan was better, but it took a couple days to recover. It could have been a lot worse. Always ensure you get a proper balance of fluids and electrolytes when you're out in the heat.
Thanks for joining us on another adventure, and until next time, live life to the limit.